Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about an app called as Pedometer. We are going to create our own app by this name. Now, the very first question that arises is what is a pedometer? A pedometer is a kind of measuring device that calculate the amount of distance traveled or the number of steps that you take. So we are going to calculate the number of steps and the distance with the help of our app. We are going to create our app for this. So to get started with, we'll open the MIT app inventor page. Then we'll click on this create app option. Then you will see the moment I click on create, different kind of whatever app we have created till now will get opened. So we want to start a new project, so we click on this start new project. Then we give it the name. It will ask for your name, so we'll write the name of our project as Pedometer. Then we click on OK. The moment we click on OK, our project by the name of Pedometer will get created. Then we'll start adding some palettes, like whatever things we are going to write. So see, here we are going to calculate two things. First of all, number of steps, then distance. And we are going to display it also, like a number of steps are also to be displayed and the distance is also to be displayed. For that, first we'll select the layout, like what layout we want. Then we'll click on table arrangement. We'll drag it and insert it here. Now, as you can see, the table will be created at the top corner of the screen. In place of that, we can change this and bring it in the middle or center. For that, what we have to do, we'll click on width and uh, okay. So yes, we'll click on screen 1 and align horizontal. We'll click on the center. Then align vertical, we'll click on center. So like this it will be created. Then we are going to add some label in that. What will be those labels? First we'll click on label 1, then we'll use label 2, then we'll use label 3 inside this, and then we'll use label 4. So what are these 4 labels? Like first label is the distance, and third will tell the number of the total distance traveled. Similarly, text for label 2 is the number of steps, and label 4, this will tell you about the steps. This will show you the count of the steps. Next, what are we going to do? We're going to change the name of this. Like text for label 1, we'll go to the properties. As you can see, we can change the name from here. In the property, in the text, we'll change it to steps, and we'll click on enters. So you will see now the steps are visible here. Similarly, we'll click on the text for label 2. We'll change the name as distance and like this. So as of now, when we'll start, the steps in distance should be equal to 0. So for that, we'll click on label 3 and in the properties, we'll change it to 0. Similarly for label 4 we'll change it to 0. So our label we have created the steps and distance. Next, what are we going to do? We are going to add the start and stop button. How are we going to do that? First, we'll click on layout, then we'll use horizontal arrangement. We'll place it here under this. Then what are we going to do? We are going to add the buttons. So we'll click on user interface, click on the button, drag and insert it here. Again, we need to insert one more button here. So like this. Now what we can do, as you can see, the first button, it is for, we're going to name it as start, and here also in the text we'll name it as start. Then for the second button we'll name it as stop, and in the properties also we'll name it as stop. So our steps, distance, start and stop, these are created. Now see what will happen. When I click on start, at the very beginning only start will be visible. Stop button is not going to be visible. Then once I click on start, this start button will get invisible, and then this stop button should start coming up. So we are going to write the code for something like this only. So let's switch to the coding part. We'll click on blocks. Now what we are going to do, we are going to click on, you'll see the start button. We'll click on this and okay, so we click on this when start clicked and do what? Okay, so we will again switch back to designer, and you can see we haven't added any device. Like we need a pedometer, an actual pedometer to calculate the distance. For that we'll go to the palette and we click on sensors. In sensor option you will find the pedometer. You'll click on that, drag and insert it here, and you'll notice that this is not visible on our screen. Actually it is a non-visible component. This component is going to be visible here, and in the properties we are going to change the stride length as 1. Alright, now let's move to the coding part. In the blocks, first we'll select the start, then we have already used this, then we'll click on pedometer. Now what should happen when we click on start? Call pedometer, and the speedometer should start the count. Similarly for stop button, we'll select when stop, click, do what? We want to stop the pedometer. So for we'll click on pedometer 1, then we'll select call pedometer 1 dot stop, drag and insert it here. Alright, so this is the code for this, for starting and ending the or stopping the pedometer. Then we want that when at the very beginning only start button should be visible and stop will be invisible. For that we'll select on yes. We'll go to the start and we'll select set start and visible. Yes. We are going to use this. We'll select, click on set start visible to, drag and insert it here. Okay. All right. Let's place it a bit far from each other. Then set start and visible. So when start and it should be visible, then the logic will be, we'll set it to false. Similarly, we'll select this and we'll use when set stop visible and true. So what should happening, like when we start our project and very beginning, we want that stop should be invisible and start should be visible. Again, for this we are going to, for same for the stop also, we'll select on this and we'll set start visible and we'll switch it to true. Similarly, we'll duplicate this, insert it here, start visible, and in place of start we'll select stop and false. Alright, then what are we going to do? We are going to calculate the distance and steps. So we'll click on pedometer and you will see there are different options for distance and step also. So what we'll do, we'll then we also want, when we start, we want that the step and distance should be equal to 0. For that, I'll click on the stop and you will say set step, and in place of that, okay, we'll remove this. So if you remember, like if I show you the design, the step was our label 1 and the distance is label 2, or even want we can rename it here also. Label 1 is step and label 2 is distance. Alright, now we'll go to this and we'll set our step. We'll click on the step and we'll set steps text to, we use it here, we'll place it. Similarly, we'll click on distance also and we'll use set distance text to and we'll insert it here. Now we want to set it to 0. So we'll go to the math option and we'll click on this 0, drag and insert it here. Similarly, we'll insert 10 here also. Alright, so by this we have kept our we have initialized the value of step and distance as 0. Next, what we are going to do, we are going to write the code for pedometer. For that, we'll select pedometer. Then, now we are going to calculate the steps. For that, we use when pedometer walk step. We'll click on that and insert it here. So we are having two options. Alright, so from here what are we going to do? We are going to change the value of the steps and distance. For that, we'll click on step and we'll select set steps text. Yes, we'll use this, insert it here. For similarly for distance also, we'll click on set distance text to, we'll insert it here. Then what are we going to do? We are going to, for steps, we'll click on this thing, get walk steps, we'll click on that, drag and insert it here. For distance, we'll click on that and we'll select get distance and we'll insert it here. So what are we going to this do? What are we doing with this? This get steps. That means the sensor will calculate the steps and it will give the value directly here. Similarly, for get distance, it will calculate the distance from the sensor and it will give the value here. Alright, so this is the code which we are going to use. Next, as usual, what are we going to do? Either if you want to connect it with the help of MIT App Inventor on your phone, we'll click on connect option. Then we'll click on this AI companion. When you click on this, you will see there is a QR code that is shown here. You simply have to open MIT App Inventor on your phone and you have to scan your code. Then the app will automatically start running on your phone and you will be able to see the steps and distance. But if you want to download your app now and you don't want to use MIT App Inventor on your phone, for that you will click on build and you will select Android app. When you select Android app, then this project will start getting converted into .apk format. What is this .apk format? It is the format for all the apps that can be installed on your phone. So it is going to take some time, as you'll see compiling. Please wait. So we have to wait for some time. Then whatever app it will be created and you can download it and you can share it with your friends also, or you can install that on your phone. We have to wait for this. Yes, see, now it is completed, and once it is completed you will see this option. You can either click on this and download the app and install that, or you can scan the barcode to directly install the app. Alright, so that is it for this video, and this is it for your pedometer. Use this and create your own app using the same steps. Alright, that's all. Thank you.